Show me the retry logic in your most critical service path. I'll show you a latent failure amplifier. Not because retries are wrong, but because almost every retry implementation I've seen is missing two things. And the next time your upstream degrades, that retry logic won't help you recover. It will be the reason you can't. Today we are talking about failure amplification, how a resilience mechanism becomes the thing that kills your system, and what the 3-line fix looks like. Tuesday afternoon, a payment gateway, nothing unusual. Latency starts creeping, 200 milliseconds to 2 seconds. The cause? A missing index on a high traffic query. Slow, but not slow enough to trigger any alert. The service is degraded, functional. Their API clients had retry logic. 3 retries, immediate, no backoff. Here's what happened next. 100 clients hitting a struggling service. Each client retries 3 times. That's 400 requests hitting a service that was already failing under 100. The database, already slow from the missing index, now has 3 times the concurrent queries. Latency climbs from 2 seconds to 8. More timeouts fire, more clients retry. At the 2-minute mark, full outage. The missing index took 10 minutes to add. The outage took 45 minutes to recover. Because every time the service tried to stabilize, a new wave of retry storms restarted the failure cycle. The root cause was a missing index. The duration of the outage was caused by the retry logic. There are 3 layers to why retries fail. Most engineers only know the first one. Layer 1, no backoff. When a service starts struggling, clients begin retrying. Without backoff, every retry fires immediately. The math is brutal. N clients times M retries equals N times M requests on a system that couldn't handle N. The service is under stress. Every additional request makes recovery harder. Naive retries don't give the service room to breathe. They accelerate the collapse. Layer 2, backoff without jitter. The standard fix is exponential backoff. Wait 1 second, then 2, then 4. Seems right. Here's the problem. If all clients started retrying at the same moment because the service dropped at a specific timestamp, they all back off by the same amount. They all retry again at second 1, all together. Then at second 2, all together. This is the thundering herd. Synchronized retry storms that hit the service in waves rather than a drip. Backoff without jitter doesn't solve the problem. It reschedules it. Layer 3, backoff with jitter. Adding random jitter to the backoff, wait 1 second plus or minus 500 milliseconds, then 2 seconds plus or minus 1 second, desynchronizes the clients. Instead of 100 clients all retrying at second 1, they spread across a 1 second window. The service sees a manageable drip instead of a spike. The formula? Wait equals the minimum of your cap and base times 2 to the power of attempt plus or minus a random value. This is AWS's full jitter recommendation. The counterintuitive truth. Adding randomness to a deterministic system makes it more reliable. Unpredictability at the client creates predictability at the service. There is one more concept most teams don't have, the retry budget. A retry budget is a hard limit on what fraction of outgoing requests can be retries at any moment. If 20% of your traffic is retries, something is wrong upstream and more retries won't help. The budget forces the system to fail fast and surface the problem, rather than silently amplifying it until everything falls over. Retries are not a reliability feature. They are a load transfer mechanism. When you retry, you transfer load from the future, when things might be healthy, to the present, when things are already struggling. Without backoff and jitter, you transfer all that load to the exact same present moment. The deeper insight. A retry without context is a guess. Good retry logic knows the difference between 4 failure types. A 503 or timeout. The server is struggling but recoverable. Retry with backoff and jitter. A 429. The server is explicitly telling you to slow down. Honor the retry after header. Don't guess. A 4xx client error. The request itself is wrong. Retrying it will never succeed. Don't add load. A non-idempotent operation. If the operation isn't safe to repeat, check whether it was already applied before retrying. Otherwise, you risk double charges or duplicate records. We'll cover this in day 6. 3 things to do before your next deploy. 1. Find your retry logic and check it for backoff and jitter. Open your most critical service path. Find every outbound call with retry logic. Does it have exponential backoff? Does it have jitter? If not, that's a latent failure amplifier sitting in production right now. 2. Categorize what you're retrying. For each retry, ask, is this a transient failure, an overload signal, a client error, or a non-idempotent operation? Most implementations retry everything equally. They shouldn't. 3. Consider a retry budget. If you're running a high traffic service, a retry budget protects you from the scenario where upstream degradation triggers a retry storm that turns a partial problem into a total one. Retries aren't a reliability feature. They're a load transfer mechanism. Without backoff and jitter, you're transferring all that load to the worst possible moment. One action today. Open your most critical outbound call. Answer 3 questions. Does it have exponential backoff? Does it have jitter? Does it know the difference between a 503 and a 429? If you can't say yes to all 3, you have work to do. Next, day 4, back pressure explained. The retry budget is one form of back pressure. Next, we look at the full pattern, how systems signal slow down to their callers and what happens when they can't.